Everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Name is Pastor Darrell Winston of Greater Works Ministries. We're going to open this experience with prayer tonight. If you don't mind, will you bow your head as we call on the Most High God? Great God of mercy, great God of grace, we thank you for this privilege. We thank you for this gathering, for this opportunity for us to come together. We thank you because it's you that we have to count on, lean on. If you don't do it, God, it won't be done. And so we call upon the exceeding greatness of your power, asking you to move in the midst of us, move in the street, move in the high places, the low places, move in the stratosphere, the atmosphere, move by your power in every home. And so we call upon your greatness and angels of abundance. We ask that your spirit of wisdom move in the midst, spirit of unity, spirit of knowledge and understanding. And all the people, all the righteous people in this house tonight say, it is so. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Southwest Arts Center in South Fulton, Georgia, Atlanta's Twin City and the blackest city in America, this is the It Still Takes a Village, Guns Down Town Hall. And now, Young Dro.
Got to put these guns down and stop killing. So many young people be crashing out in our city. We gotta take these streets back. I'm with it. So many young brothers need guidance. We got to give it. We gotta put these guns down and stop killing. So many young people be crashing out in our city. We gotta take these streets back. I'm with it. So many young brothers need guidance. We got to give it. We gotta put these guns down. Gotta put these guns down. Gotta put these guns down. Yeah. This is way too much killing. It's way too much killing. It's way too much, way too much. They burying us, they burying us. It's way too much killing. Way too much killing. Way too much, way too much. They burying us, they burying us. Reaching out to my young guys, tired of hearing your mama cry, tired of seeing this bloodshed, tired of hearing this gunfire. I hate the way we behaving, bodies laying on the pavement, standing over your grave. God save our babies, this situation hysterical, all the way across America. We got to put these guns down. Please, this is unbearable. Take the clip out your Uzi. I hate for you to have to lose me. We need to take these streets back. On the block where the youth be. I'ma start in the A. Tell God he can use me. My young niggas need guidance. Tell y'all he can use me. I'm there for you. I care for you. Hit my knees, say a prayer for you. OG, put your guns down and the young ones do it right after you. Guns down. Stop killing. So many young people be crashing out in our city. We gotta take these streets back. I'm with it. So many young brothers need guidance. We gotta give it. We gotta put these guns down and stop killing. So many young people be crashing out in our city. We gotta take these streets back. I'm with it. So many young brothers need guidance. We gotta give it. We gotta put these guns down. Gotta put these guns down. Gotta put these guns down. Yeah. You feel me? It's way too much killing. It's way too much killing. It's way much, they burying us, they burying us. It's way too much killing, way too much killing, way too much, way too much. They burying us, they burying us. We gotta put these guns down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of the city of South Fulton, Khalid, and Streets 94.5, Jazzy McBree.
How's everyone doing? Thank you all so much. It's a packed house. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Welcome to Atlanta's new Twin City, South Fulton, Georgia. I am the new mayor, Mayor Khalid. How are you all doing this evening? All right, so this is our first Courageous Conversations Live. This is a discussion series that I began as mayor online last year, and we are now back meeting in person here at the Southwest Arts Center. I want to tell you that our city council meetings are here every fourth Tuesday. Joining me a little later tonight is going to be the lovely Jazzy McBee from Streets 94.5. But I really want to just take a moment to say that this town hall would not have been possible without this recording artist turned recording activist, Young Dro. Would you all give him a hand? A city of South Fulton native. So we're going to get into these conversations tonight. We're going to have about 3 panels. We're going to talk a little bit about the music. We want to ask the question, is the music that we're hearing the seed of the violence that we're seeing, or is it the harvest of the violence that has passed? We're going to talk a little bit also about, in addition to the guns down movement, we've added this drugs down. You might see that on the signs on the way in. We want to talk about the interconnectedness between gun violence and drug abuse. We're going to have some incredible therapists here talking about that. It's an important conversation that we need to have here in our community. We welcome all of you to participate in these panels. Each panel is going to be about 30 minutes each. We're going to have a little discussion out here. Then we're going to get out in the audience with this mic and make sure that everyone can be heard. This is the first of a series of conversations that we're having. If you have received our text messages, that might be how you found out about it. But if you didn't, we want to make sure that you sign up now. So everybody, take out your phones, take out your phones, take out your phones. I want you to go to your text message app, and you are going to text the number 33777. You're going to text the number 33777, and the word you are going to text is Fulton. This will sign you up for our newsletter and all our mobile alerts. If you've already signed up, you got a text message just a few minutes ago when we went live. We are streaming this live at khalidcares.com. It's going to be rebroadcast on World Star Hip Hop. So if you've got that text message, please share that with some friends. We want you to use the hashtags Guns Down, Courageous Conversations, South Fulton, Georgia. A lot of hashtags, but you know, if you're into that, you could pick one. You can use all 3. We just want to make sure that we get the word out about this. Make sure I'm doing all of my due diligence here. All right, so we're going to ask everybody to keep their answers or their questions to 2 or 3 minutes, just like we do in a council meeting. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this. So our first panel, we're going to talk about this music. Is the music that we're hearing that's being made, is it the seed of the violence, or is it the harvest of the violence? And we're going to get started with our panelists now. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our amazing first panel. This man here, you may not know him, but you know his work, Mr. Willie Watkins of Watkins Mortuary. We all end up in his office eventually. Next to him is the lovely Miss Morgan Worrell. She is Miss Full Figure Georgia. and also has an incredible organization mentoring young women called Unveiled Princess. Next to Morgan is the Gary Davis of Next Level Boys Academy. We have a lot of, are there any Next Level students in the house right now? I know there might be a couple. He does incredible work, there we go, in our South Fulton communities. And next to him is our host, our moderator, Miss Sierra. Dr. Sierra. Got to give you all her props. Of course, next to her is Young Dro, our artist. Celebrity therapist, the original Michael. And we have a new panelist joining us, Lil Will from Organized Noise. So the South Side is represented. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to this incredible moderator. I'm going to be out here in the audience with the lovely AJ. You see her, she's going to be on your stage left. I'm going to be here on your stage right. When we open it up for questions, we'll get out here and get questions from you all. All right, let's get started.
Hello. I was making sure it was on. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody clap for themselves for just coming out and participating in this. This is the first initiative. This is the first of many initiatives. The primary goal is to be able to listen to the youth. There's nothing more important than to listen to you all. At the end of the day, you are our future. And we want to make sure that you're heard. And so tonight is for you. Tonight is to also celebrate you. It's not, everything that you hear up here this evening is not to badger you. It is to give you a sense of hope. And I hope when you leave this evening that you receive it as such. And we want to know what it is that you need from us as an adult. We don't believe, nobody up here believes in children not having a voice. You all have a voice. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Gary with the first question.
The question that
Oh, yeah. Good.
So I guess one of the things I want to ask the young people out there is, what is the fascination that you all have with these guns? Is it a gun issue, or is it a uneducated fascination of guns? To my young people in here, man, what's up with the guns? Young ladies, young men, what's up with the guns? What's the fascination about it?
Can you hear me? Hi, hello.
Hi.
I personally don't believe there's any specific fascination with guns themselves. From me looking at my peers and things like that, and just seeing things in representation of guns and gun violence in the media, I think we're all pretty scared of it, more than wanting to be attracted to use guns. We're pretty scared of it because of all the school shootings that happened in the past year, in the past few months. And it's very scary. Like, you guys heard about that 6-year-old boy who shot his teacher. I think it's misrepresentation in the media of how teens feel about guns. We're pretty scared of it ourselves. And I feel like if we make jokes about it, it's more of a coping mechanism to just kind of subside for sadness and all of those negative emotions than anything, if that makes any sense.
Maybe fascination is a bad choice of words. Yeah. Maybe y'all should ask, why y'all keep using these guns? Why y'all just can't talk about it?
If there's any young men in the building, I would love for you guys to speak up, man. If the parents are with your child, I would love for you guys to encourage your child, because they now have a voice.
How y'all doing? I'm Justin Powell, brother. It ain't no really so much of a fascination with the guns. It's just even the playing field. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the police, they got to come out with faster cars to keep up with the criminals. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody else got a gun out there, you want to have a gun too if it's a problem. Because if you don't, you already going to lose. So I don't think these young men fascinated by it. It's just, he got a gun. He got a problem with me. I need a gun. How you gonna protect yourself? They don't know no better. They ain't been trained, no nothing. Only thing they know is, I gotta defend myself. I'm gonna go get a gun.
So you want to defend yourself, or you afraid to take a loss?
They want to defend themselves. Both of them. These young cats, they not outside no more. Think about it. Ain't no more fields to play in, no basketball courts. They inside. They inside all day. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I really appreciate you standing up. First of all, thank you, brother, for standing up. But what is it about somebody that look like you, walk like you, the same complexion as you, that you're so angry with them about? Like, why? What is it about one black young man and another young black man that y'all just can't talk about this? Like, what's up with that?
I don't have no problem with nobody that look like me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? My little brother, he was killed because of that. You know what I'm saying? My little brother, he was killed December 17th. But
Sorry to hear that.
I don't have a problem with the next black man, you feel me? And I know how to carry myself. These young men, they need guidance. They need guidance. They need male role models to show them, you know what I'm saying?
I have one more thing, man, and then we'll move on past me. It sounds like you have a very strong voice, and you say what you mean, and you mean what you say. What advice would you give to the young people in this audience who's on this BS out here in the community with this gun violence and all this? I just want you to look around, man, and just drop some gems on them, man, about these guns, bruh.
I mean, guns, they what they for. I carry a gun to protect my dwelling. I don't carry a gun to scare the next man because I know how to handle myself. I know how to fight. I know how to defend myself. I don't carry a gun to scare you, but it's for protection. Y'all ain't got to pick these guns up and go kill somebody. Y'all got to think about it. Go sit in your closet all day. See if you can stand there all day.
Miss.
Can you get him behind you? Shar, he's been standing for a long time.
Speak.
Thank you. I'm 25, so I'm not going through what the average high schooler is going through. I really wanted to hear from like somebody younger. But for me, I never played around with guns. I never grew up like people treating guns as a joke. You only seen guns when something was serious. And right now, it just feel like everybody got guns. Like if everybody got guns, how you not gonna have one? You gotta have something to protect yourself and like just even the playing field out, like Chris said. Cause they got guns we ain't got, you know what I'm saying? So if we got regular guns and they got something that just shoot the whole clip in 3 seconds, we gotta have something. Like, I'm not gonna say put the gun down because I think every citizen needs guns, it's all right. But we need to teach people how to carry responsibly.
AJ, you got one?
With me, I don't really think it's a fascination with guns. It's just how we grow up. Like a lot of people, they grew up around guns. And from the music, what they listen to, and what they been around, they see guns and they think it's cool. And a lot of people, they want to live up to what the music is. They want to sell drugs, have guns, and live like that. That's why everybody want a gun. But sometimes we don't need no gun. My brother got shot. He had a gun, but he wasn't really like that with his gun. He kept it to protect us and my family. See, my house, we good. A lot of people, but I don't really think it's really a fascination why people need a gun.
How old are you, good brother? How old are you?
I'm 15.
15? Okay.
Thank you. I have a question because I heard 2 different things. Well, I heard 3 different things. One, I heard that it's more of a protection. So what's alarming for me is that he's 15 I think someone said that they were 25, and I don't know how old the young lady was back there in the back, that you all feel like you have to protect yourselves. Why do you feel like you have to protect yourselves in that manner? What's happening that makes you feel like you need to protect yourselves that way?
The world we live in.
I'm sorry, baby, say it again.
The world we live in.
The world that we live in.
We don't live in a world y'all can just talk about it anymore? It's just a question.
That's just it.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm here to learn.
It's different.
Why can't you talk about it?
Some people just don't like want to
Why
talk it out.
can't you talk about it?
Some people just don't want to talk it out. I talk it out, but some
Okay.
people, they ready to just get to the point. Some people, they ain't got nothing to live for, so they just ready to end it all out right there.
Okay, so listen. At 15, and I'm not targeting you, but I think that it's something that needs to be discussed because you're only 15. You understand, baby? Because you haven't lived yet. You haven't even seen the brink of living or what living should actually look like. I want to suggest that it is a choice. There is an option, and I think that we need to find what that choice is and what the option is to be able to make it different. I don't know where you hang, and I don't know where any of you hang, but what can we do when we approach a situation where you feel like you have to use a gun? What is another method that you can use besides pulling a weapon?
You could try to talk it out, but that's just try.
Say the second part again.
You could try to talk it out, but that's just try.
You said try talking it out?
We could try, but that's just trying.
You said but. What was after the but?
That's
just trying. Okay, I get it.
I feel like you can walk away, because, I mean, there's plenty of situations I walked away from.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, because with the gun violence, it's crazy, but what can we do about it? We can get out there in the communities, but even if we get out there, we still got to make sure that we hold them accountable and we hold ourselves accountable. And I feel like it started at home first. I feel like it started with your parents. Because my mama, when I was coming home trying to be in gangs and stuff, my mama would take the flag and throw it out, burn it, do what she got to do, because she wasn't having it. She wasn't having it in her house. A lot of parents don't know what their kids doing, though. You know, so that's one thing, too. So, and then it starts in the school, too, because they let the kids go crazy, and they don't have control over the kids. And then you got to hold yourself accountable as well. You know,
True. I think I want to weigh in on this. I think if you show me your friends, I can show you your future. I believe that if you're hanging out with guys that have guns, eventually you're going to need one. You don't know what this dude just done. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're going to pick guys that have guns on them, eventually you're going to have one, because their drama bleeds onto you. You know what I'm saying? So if you actually want to make a good decision, pick the right people to be around. If you show me the people you hang around, I can tell you exactly where you're headed. You hang around doctors and lawyers, you'll be one soon. You hang around a drug dealer, you'll be one soon.
I heard him say that he felt like that it starts in the home. And so this is a part of why this, or how this panel even came about, because there are a lot of different opinions as to why the violence rate is so high. So while he says it starts in the home, a lot of America feels like it's because of the hip-hop music, Dro. How do you feel about them saying that it's a part of the music that you all make?
I mean, as far as being a hip-hop artist and hearing that question, I believe that it's kind of like an insult, and it's alarming. I think it's the easy way out to say, oh, it's hip-hop. You know what I mean? I think it starts in the home, and I believe that, you know, these kids should know the truth about what they're hearing. You know what I mean? And I believe that some of these lyrics that you hear are fiction. You know, some are as fiction as Mickey Mouse, you know what I mean? But on the flip side, I come from poverty. I still have family in poverty, you know, and I speak my truth, you know, and I want you to understand when I speak my truth, I don't expect for you to actually be, you know, make yourself available for my truth. You know what I mean? Just because I went through something, I'm not actually telling you that this is something I want you to do. I'm just speaking my truth. You know what I mean? And that's why I believe it's in the home, because I have children, and I govern what they listen to. You feel me? Like, my son don't hear none of my music, but I would expect for you to do the same thing. You know, this is your home. Are you going to allow lyrics to raise your children? Are you going to allow Instagram to raise your child? You feel me? Are you going to allow another gang member to raise your child? You feel me? Like, see, I'm from an era, like, a lot of people had something to do with me coming up. The next door neighbor did. You know, if I cursed too much, this lady walked me home by my ear, you know what I'm saying? And, hey, man, your son was just using really bad language, and my mama tore my behind up. You feel what I'm saying? But today, don't touch my child. Don't come over here and mess with my child. Shut the door. You feel me? Somebody knocked on the door and said, your son stole my gun. She asked the boy, you stole the gun? He said, no, he ain't steal it. Boom, shut the door. Little boy got the gun in the damn pocket. You feel me? You got to pay more attention to your children. You know what I mean? Don't allow them to come home and have hip-hop narrate their raising. That's sad.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what you said. As an educator, I see students literally coming to school, going to work, and it's repetitive. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say it start at home, some of these kids' parents in the streets. Some of the kids' parents not even in the home. They paying. Some of my students are paying rent, light bill, gas bill, feeding themselves. And so at the end of the day, when it comes to somebody coming up to them like, hey, go study for me, here go a gun to protect yourself. What do we tell that student in that, what do we tell them then when there's nobody, you know what I'm saying, nobody at home to govern them? Like, what do we tell them then?
That's why the parents are here. When I say it still takes a village, this is the village. You feel me? Because if you're missing something, next door neighbor got it. You feel me? What you don't have, I have. The voice that they're missing, Young Dro's a mentor for that. You know what I mean? That's why I'm putting myself, using my platform, and actually being of service. I'm sacrificing my whole body for this. You feel me? I want to be a person that, hey, look, man, my daddy wasn't there, but I went and talked to Dro. Shawty got something to say. You feel me? And that's how I'm rocking.
Sure, can you?
How you doing? More so when they say the world we live in, we just know everybody got a gun in them. Of course, you want to get one to protect yourself, but the choice we can make is that everybody now, they scared to take a loss. They scared to fight it out. They just feel like they got to resort to a gun to protect themselves instead of just fighting it out because they don't want to take no loss. But when you look at it, if you take your loss in the fight, you still live to see another day. Yeah. Instead of losing your life and taking another child from his mom.
So a L is an L though. So if you pull out a gun and you shoot somebody, you taking an L because you're going to jail. You're either gonna go to jail or you're gonna be on the run and you're gonna live in some type of fear of being caught or being hurt or whatever. That's still an L that you're taking. So at what point do we say we just make a different choice instead of taking an L? Like, we can't look at it just one way. Do you feel like it's seen only one way?
I feel like it is, but that's where the problem is because you can rather talk it out, but that's what they don't want to do, or you can fight it out, but they don't want to do that at the same time.
Yeah. I hear, just listening to different people speak, I wanted to hear from Original because I personally feel like a lot of this starts mentally. That's my opinion. Not just for the kids, for the adults as well. Do you think so, Original?
Most definitely. I think when people do not heal, they bleed on people that did not cut them. I believe that we are living in the world. I believe that we are living in the world where we're overwhelmed with fear. One of the greatest misconceptions is that rap music leads to violence. What it is it is a distraction from the giants that we really should be fighting. Unemployment, mass incarceration, access to health care. All right, it is not about, let me tell you, music, they call it music, I call it my therapist. It allows me to be at home and run away, right? It soothes me. But what we have to look at is that we have bought into a system that has been built to divide us. And if we stand together, we can overcome it. You know, it's like we say something is sucking the life out of us, but we keep giving it the straw, right? This is what, and I thank all of you for being here, because let me tell you, little baby just said it. He said it's more than black and white. It is more than black and white. It's the problem is the world that we live in, and knowing how to be mentally healthy to confront the daily stressors that are in it. Let me tell you something, and I heard Dro talk about it. If a person's presence don't bring value into your life, their absence don't mean a damn bit of difference. Yeah. We must surround ourselves with people that supports our growth and help us to deal with the situations that are confronting us, right? You know, Martin Luther King talked about it, my beloved community. We each have a part in it. We each have a part, and we have to stop being negligent of our part in the community, right? When a youngster is toting a gun, oftentimes that is representation of the absence of somebody that should have been in their life. That given them the coping skills to deal with the situations that they are confronting. But I also, too, want to say this, my brothers and sisters, that often what you are going through is transportation to where you're going to. You can use it. We must start utilizing our experience. Experience should give you appreciation toward what you are up against.
Let me just say this. Thank you. I guess everyone here know who I am, so I'm going to leave it just like that. But let me say, I heard a lot of talk, but I'm from the old school because I grew up in the old way because I wanted to be something in life. And I'm 73 years old now, and I'm living like I should live. But I think the first thing, I heard a lot, but the thing is here, do you know God or do you have God? Do you have God in your heart?
Talk about
because
it.
That's where it all going to start from. We got to get into what God will have us to be. The Bible teaches us this, that God said, Jesus said, I came so that you may have life more abundantly, more abundant. He said, I took the stain out of death, so why fear death? So the question here to everybody in here is that, do you have God in your heart? Is that right? You got to ask that question to yourself. Listen, guns and guns, people use guns to kill people. Now, why? We talk about all this, well, I want to use the gun to show that I'm bad or whatever, I'm showing it. But I don't want to say what, I'm going to say this after I say that. Let's understand what God will have us to be. Because God didn't, your mother did not birth you to say, I want my child to turn out to be a thug, all right? Nor did she birth you to say the fact that you said that she wants y'all to turn out to be nothing. Let's try to figure out how we can be something so we can add to society what we should be. Because I'm telling you, I don't have to talk about how many young people we buried. But the fact of the matter is that all of it is because somebody thought that guns, whatever, was a better way to sell it or whatever was going. And because of that, that person is what? Laying dead. And you know what the bad part about it is? That 9 times out of 10, they don't even have money to bury them. You understand? So that means the mama's got to do what? They got to try to raise the money, try to do what needs to be done. So we ought to start looking at, is your life, what does your life mean to you? And once you ask that question and answer that question, you'll find out that you're better living than being dead.
Amen.
I want to, everybody role and position that you see on this stage right now and after is very important. But I don't feel like, I feel like if anybody should be heard, it should be Willie Watkins. The reason is because he buried people all day, every day. And if we don't see it on the news, he see it. If we ain't heard about it, we don't know about what happened, we don't know about if they could pay for it, whatever the case may be, he sees it. This is one of the biggest funeral homes. So I think it's important for us all, not just the kids, the adults that's in here, because adults die, kids die, and a lot of adults don't have life insurance. A lot of adults are just dying without knowing they're gonna die. Like teens, I mean, like teens are dying also. Everybody is not sick and dying. Somebody is just dying senselessly, or somebody is dying, natural cause, whatever the case may be. But I think that it's important for us to listen to you, because if nobody else knows up here, you know exactly how many bodies are actually going out. So I just want to say that I appreciate you for being here.
Me too.
Sure, appreciate it. I just wanted to get in on it. I'm Lil Will with the Dungeon family, and I live in South Fulton County, man, most of my life. And I heard everything that y'all said, but what I've been seeing is something totally different. It sure look like it's an accessory to me, how y'all wearing the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sure seemed like y'all been looking at some Western movies or something around here. You know what I'm saying? For real. So it don't look like it's for protection to me. It look cute. You know what I'm saying? So be real with yourself and stop being in a rush to die. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? My 46, 47 years on this earth, I've seen it firsthand. I've stood next to a guy that got killed, next to me. And you still in shock, standing there like, wow, my homeboy, his head is gone. So I'm just saying, the accessory part, it looked like y'all put a Gucci belt on and stick your gun in the Gucci belt, and your pants hanging off the gun half the time gonna fall out. So be real with yourself now. We asking some real questions because we're trying to help. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way that we can help if we don't have a voice to listen to. Half of y'all scared to even talk about it and got a gun up under your bed right now, and your mama don't even know it. But you saying it's for protection. We ain't knowing if you're getting bullied in the school, in your neighborhood, going to the store. It can happen anywhere to you. An innocent bystander, stray bullet. You know what I'm saying? But the stuff that you're seeing on news tells a different story. Somebody said, yeah, the little 6-year-old shot the school teacher. That's right. Before that, the kid stabbed the lunch lady. We watch the news now. We with you. We're trying to help you. Let's curb the situation and come together and make it right. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because if you get caught with it, your life is over with. For real. You kill somebody with it, your life is over with. So either way it go, you don't need it. Like I said, don't be in a hurry to grow up. Don't be in a hurry to die.
Young people, it's y'all night, so we back on y'all. Y'all got questions, comments?
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Marcus Martin. I'm 21. What I think about my generation, growing up in high school, a lot of it is, because I'm a Marine, so like, I learned a lot about like calming down and patience. What I believe is that a lot of my generation and young men around me and what I've seen, we all react off emotion. And that's what I think every household should challenge and target, because when you get in trouble for your parents, and there's a lot of stress on the parents, especially single mothers, because they're alone and raising a young man. You gotta teach him how to be a man. But when he gets in trouble, it's all emotion that he's seeing. So when he gets upset and he goes to school, all he sees is emotion, so that's how he reacts. A lot of the gun violence before these young men pull a trigger, it's just emotion. It's not anger, it's fear. Everything that you guys have targeted, it's fear, it's anger, it's stress. That's the problem. The problem is the emotion. We react, and then we just say, okay, here's the fastest answer to get rid of this solution, but none of us think about the future. So all I do is tell my brothers and all the fellow young men, do not react off emotion, because that's what makes a man a fool. A man does right and doesn't worry about being right. Just because your friend gets shot and he dies and you think, okay, I gotta take that weight on my shoulder, I'm gonna go get mines, you don't have to go do that. You have to think about your family and your future. You have to tell your friend, hey, I know it's tough for you, bro, but let's go get a job, let's work here together. Regardless if it's minimum wage, $8, $10, or whatever, we're gonna work together, we're gonna move up together. So really, it's just emotion. It's just mentality. If you have a strong mind and you're patient and you like understand the whole situation, not just thinking about where you're coming from, and you think about it, a situation from different perspectives, where your fellow friend is coming from, where your enemy is coming from, if that's how it is for you, if you have anyone that goes against you, a foe, think about different perspectives of the situation. If you take his life, think about his family. Think about your family. Don't think about how you're gonna feel. Don't think about revenge. Don't think about how it's gonna make you look or how much money you're gonna make. Because at the end of the day, you gotta think about yourself. So that's what I think it is. It's just everybody reacting off emotion. And I used to react off emotion a lot. Like, it took me a lot of growing up with my mom, just teaching me how to be a man, honestly. Like, I'm a young married man. So, like, I react off emotion a lot, and reacting off emotion makes the man look poor, you know?
Right.
So that's what I think it is. If we teach our young men how to calm down, take correction the proper way, even if you have someone come at you the wrong way, but to calm down from the situation, help that also fellow young man, just because he has a different like route in his life and he's not going where you're going, try to help coerce him to the right way. Like, don't just let him
So I
fall
think
off.
with this young man right here, he's going to be standing in the lobby. All my brothers out here, including me. Let's connect with him. Let's give him a hand, man.
I want my child to grow up
I'm with you when you're right, man.
Yes, sir, Ski.
So that concludes round one. You all can stay right there. The questions aren't over, but we're going to go ahead and transition into round two.
Hey, look, all my young men that's standing up to speak, I want y'all to know that we love y'all. I just want to say that, man.
Stay strong, man.
Bear with us, y'all, for a few minutes.
Remember, we're not bashing y'all. This is encouragement. You know what I'm saying? So we just want y'all to go home with a couple of gems so that you understand that it's a couple of different ways out. A lot of times you just don't think about what you're doing before you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to speak to your parents or speak to your sister or speak to an older sibling or your next door neighbor or even the mailman and let them know what's happening with you. You dig?
Hey, and I wanted to say, I created this space for us to feel good. How y'all feeling? Some of y'all ain't say nothing. I want this a feel good moment, man. We here for solutions. We trying to get to the a point where we can actually have good conversations around each other. You know what I mean? Make this our normal. How y'all feeling? Good, good, good. We're about to transition, man, so we can bring some more great people out on this panel. I appreciate y'all for having y'all patience, and stick around.
Gary, is the skit still? Okay. Now.
Check. Hey, listen, real quick, man. As they getting ready for the next skit, I'm gonna need a couple of my young brothers, man, or sisters. I need a couple volunteers. Let me just say this. So, the people that I want up here are someone who has ever been in the midst of a conflict. If you've been in a fight in the past 2 months, or in an argument in the past 2 months, come up front. Come up. As a matter of fact, right here. Is it dead faces? Come on, man, I need your help, bro. Come on, man, I need your help. Come on, I need your help. Yeah, you can come. Both of y'all, come. No, we gotta help the kids out, man. Y'all give them a hand, man, as they come up. Y'all give them a hand as they come up. My man that was over here earlier speaking, I need him too. Where is he? No, he was right there. Huh? Yeah, you good, you can stay here. Okay, you're getting, anybody, come here, Keyshawn, hurry up, come up front, up here on the stage. So real quick, man, one of the issues that we have seen, appreciate you, man. Why you want to call, man? I ain't the police, you treat me like I'm the police.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One of the things that we are dealing with young men, I need you three over there. No, I don't need you with him. Keyshawn, you go over there. What's up, man? And I need you three over here. One of the things, y'all slide all the way to the edge of the stage. You go to the edge of the stage. One of the issues that we have with young folks is they don't know how to deal with conflict. Everybody want to pull the switch or the stick. Everybody want to pull. And here's the deal, man. At the end of the day, you're going to think about, is it really that serious? So I want you to do something, man. So how old are you?
I'm 14.
14 years old. How old are you? 13-year-old, 14-year-old. So here's what I want to do. I want you all to just walk by each other and just accidentally bump each other. Just walk. Accidentally. All right. Now, what if somebody walked up to you and bumped you and you didn't know them, and I want you to be 100 with me, what's your response? You could be like, damn, like, whoa. Just that quick. Why?
I mean, because when you don't know a person and they don't say my bad or excuse me, you're gonna take it the wrong way.
Why didn't you say, well, I know that's part of the role. So when y'all walk into school and bump up with somebody and y'all don't say excuse me, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Why is respect such an important thing for this age group or for this generation?
I feel like respect so like important because growing up I didn't have my dad, so my mama, that's the only thing she taught me. Like, you a man, if you don't get nothing else, you supposed to have respect for yourself and for everybody else, and you supposed to get it back.
Wow. Why is respect important to you, man?
Why is it important to me? You said why respect important to me? I mean, because every man should have respect. You should want to respect your others. You respect your elders, right? So.
Do you think respect is earned or is something that's just automatically given to you?
I feel like it's earned.
Earned. Yeah. So how can I earn respect from you?
I mean, I ain't gonna disrespect you, so I don't expect for you to disrespect me. So I mean, that's earning respect, right? If I respect you, you should respect me, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. I think everybody fights or won't respect when there's an audience.
Yeah.
Right? We was talking about the shooting earlier. I've seen several cases, read several cases, because one of the things that we do is we help black boys, going to prison.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a case where a black boy shot another black boy and there was nobody else around.
Yeah, you right.
I'm right.
I mean, I ain't never seen that either.
So is it the respect for you, or is it respect of the disrespect you in front of your homie? Is it really about you?
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for
In
myself.
this room and I put you off, you're a very mature brother. Say, brother, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Now I feel like you should be a man that just, you know what I'm saying?
But I think it's more so about your partner than you. I'll wait.
I don't know.
Why are y'all so adamant about proving something to somebody who ain't gonna put no money on the funeral bill, who ain't gonna put no money on your book, damn sure ain't gonna give you no money on the lawyer bill, but you lawyer to the wrong folk, and you're talking about respect. You respect everybody but the people who getting you out of jail.
Yeah, your mama, your daddy. Yeah.
I go over here to this house over there. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, he asking why. I'm giving an answer. What you want me to do? What? I don't know what the hell I asked him. Oh, you can't speak for everybody. Why is respect important to you? How old are you, man? 46 years old. Well, this is a little different with you. Act it out. Why is it important to you?
We say that if somebody bumped or disrespect you, lame if you don't do nothing. So they might think they're lame, they let it go, or they could be thinking that feel like somebody tried them.
I would rather be lame than that Willie Watkins funeral home. I would. What do you get? Like, what happens? What happens when you're lame?
You just lame.
I mean, you would think that if you're lame, you're gonna die and go to hell. Like you guys are really big on being lame. Why is that a big deal?
To me, it really ain't no big deal. You just who you is. Like, if you're a regular dude, you're a regular dude. I don't really categorize people as like lame and stuff. You just yourself.
Y'all don't like lame boys?
I really don't care about lame boys. It's more of how you respect and talk to me. Like, it's not that.
Well, I heard.
First off, what is lame? I said, what is lame? Yeah, what is lame? You know what I'm saying? Lame, to me, like, when people glorify something that I might be doing, they think cool, the next person might think, that's lame. You know what I'm saying? So I don't categorize people out there.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was looking for you earlier, man. You said a good response earlier, but here's the deal. Here's the thing. We're out of time, man. I want to say this to you. First of all, give them a hand. And I want to say this to you all, man. Really ain't that serious, bruh. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, because I fear that one day, if we don't stop killing each other as young black boys, who's going to be here to protect your parents, your mama, your sister, your auntie? Jealous of what? We ain't got nothing. I got to get out of here. My time is out. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Y'all exit to the left, exit to the right. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, we're going to get started with, we're going to get started with our second panel. We're going to talk a little bit about conflict resolution. We have some principals, some therapists. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But first, I want to introduce the beautiful, the lovely, the brilliant, and the talented Miss Jazzy McBee from Streets 94.5.
How y'all doing tonight? Y'all good? I'm so glad that you guys came out tonight. Once again, I'm just so proud of my brother, Young Dro, my girl, Sierra, for putting this on. Mayor Khalid, y'all give another round of applause for them real quick. So we also know this is the second panel. So right now, we definitely want to acknowledge some of the parents that actually were brave enough to come out and, you know, be strong and courageous to just even be out in the community. We want to give them a chance to speak just for maybe about 1 or 2 minutes. And we just want to, the families, if you are here, can you raise your hand really quick? Okay, can you go over to the center aisle right here and talk to Shar? Just only if you want to talk. We're not making you talk, but your testimony will definitely be some help.
Yes, I would love to hear.
Hey, Shar. So you would just step in front of the red tape, the red line, all the families who were affected. How you doing, lady? And y'all looking beautiful too. After all that we've been through, we still holding on, right? We still holding on. Char, what you got?
Greetings, everyone, everybody that came out. This is such a vitally important discussion. My name is Ebene. 23 years ago, I was a beauty salon owner, mother of 2 sons, minding my business, went out Christmas night with my friends, and was the innocent victim of gun violence and got shot in my face. I still have 9 bullet fragments in my head, and let me tell you something, the healing has been arduous. I hear people use in such passive conversation, shut up, I'll shoot you, shut up, I pull my Glock. It sounds good when you're saying it, but trust me, these 23 years have been dire. I just made my 23rd anniversary on December 27th. I got shot in 1999.
Oh my God.
I was the mother of 2 boys. It is sad for me to see people still shooting. I am the creator of a nonprofit organization, and I wrote a docuseries called Shot, Survivors Helping Others Through. That's what my shirt is. I have vital information to help the survivors of gun violence when society is not looking out for us. Anybody that needs to talk to me, I'll see you afterwards. Thank you all.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your story. Char?
Thank you.
Hello, hello. My name is Kamisha. My son, Devin Jackson, was 17. He was murdered 15 months ago by his so-called friends. To this day, they've only captured the robber, not the actual murderer, and he actually got bailed twice on malice murder, which is absurd. I am also a gun violence survivor, was shot 2020. So I definitely know what it feels like, and it's a different feeling when you're on that front row of the funeral. For, you know, people have opinions about what you should, what you shouldn't, and then I'm raising other kids, 2 boys and a daughter, who have to go through the PTSD, the depression, and all of that. I definitely want to say shout out to Dro, because since Devin passed away, I have reached out to every celebrity that I can think of in Atlanta, because I grew here, I ain't flew here. So I reached out to my community. Nobody has done an event but you. So I commend you for that.
We love you. We love you. Thank you.
And I make sure every event, my son's name's gonna be everywhere. Fox 5 know me, I got him on speed dial. We do, like, to all the parents, all I can tell y'all, don't give up on y'all kids. Nobody else gonna be out there. If I have to be out there by myself, everybody gonna hear justice for Devin.
That's right.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Give it up.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Paulette Smith, and my son, Jonathan McWilliams, was murdered on August 31st, 2021. He was 22 years old. What I want to say to the young kids, because now I only had one son, one kid, period, and he was murdered. So I am a mother that doesn't have a kid now. But I have been taking it upon myself with help of people. We going out to the schools to talk to the young kids. I would like for them to know that their lives are so much valuable. Like, don't make the decisions to put your mother where I'm standing, because your mom, your friends gonna disappear. It's just gonna be your mom standing. I tell people now, for my one that they took, I'm taking back a nation. So I'm glad that Dro came and other people coming out to help us, because I only had one. So we gotta come back to take our nation back, because nobody else gonna do it for us but us. We gotta do it.
Absolutely.
Because we burying them too fast and too every day. Every day. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Tamika Pless.
Tamika.
Hey, baby. My son is Jelani Pless, the young man who was killed, I'm sorry, over the $10 in water.
It's all right. Take your time, Mama. Take your
I'm
time.
going to say this. Everybody is not your friend. Like when you guys got up here and said about being lame, my son's friends was with him. They literally left him while he was laying on the ground dead. They was all at home. Pick and choose your friends. Like Dro said earlier, who you hang with, you're guilty by association. Just because one person has a gun, that don't mean you have to carry a gun. You have parents, you have siblings. When my son left that morning, I wasn't expecting to get that call at 2:19 p.m. saying that he was lifeless. I reached out to him, which he's a good person. Shar, Both of them have been there for me. It's a couple of other people here. We as parents and a community have to come together and be there for our kids, our friends' kids, because tomorrow is not promised to. And to all the parents that's in here now who's lost a child after me, my deepest condolences. I've reached out to a lot of you parents. I'm here to listen. It's fresh to you guys, but it's not fresh to me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I gotta say, y'all, man, everybody is strong in here. And my prayers and everybody that goes up, if you believe in God, just say like a quick prayer for each and every person that's just standing in this line or somebody that just lost. Just say just a quick prayer. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, in the audience that's in the mic, guys, could you turn that mic up and hold it up to your mouth so we can actually hear you when you speak, because your words are powerful.
How you doing? My name is Lakia Tripp. My son is Jalen Deshaun Rogers. He was murdered on July the 31st, 2018 at the Budgetel Hotel on County Road. It is very hard to stand here because I still suffer with grief. But I just want to tell each and every young child out here, see the police, and if you didn't make the news, because his face didn't make the news, but that don't mean that his story didn't get made. Just like the young lady said about the friends, yeah, your friends leave you. Well, they left my son laying over in some grass. The police didn't come tell me that my son was laying in some grass. My Holy Spirit brought me there. That's what the faith of God is. My son was in a prayer group on Wednesday nights. I'm one of those parents that was a PTA parent, and it's happened to my child. So I just want to let people know it ain't just where you came from, how you was raised in a lot of ways, because my child was in the prayer line, and his prayer was, thou shalt not kill. He may have had a gun, but he didn't kill anybody, but his life was taken away from him. So as a grieving mother, I understand, and I have been in a lot of different places with other mothers that have struggled with losing their child, trying to, just like she said, you have other kids in the home, you're trying to hold yourself together, but they don't tell you. Like Mr. Willie Watkins, I thank God for the funeral homes, Donna Trumbull, Gus Thornhill, I won't be long, but when it's a murder investigation, your parent can't even see you. It took me 4 days to get to my son, and the examiner office sent the funeral home to pick my son for me to see my son. I'm still fighting for justice for Jalen, because just like those friends, well, while my son was laying in the grass, his friend was gathering all his stuff, leaving him as a John Doe. I got one of them, thank you, God. It's 2 more out there, and the friends as well, because if I feel like if you, and this is his thing in his head, I got to go with my homeboy, and when your mama telling you somebody ain't your friend, that ain't your friend.
Believe him, right.
Your mama ain't going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say that, you know, it's struggling, and thank you for everybody on this panel, because I've been praying to God that somebody stand up for our community. I done been to the victims advocate meetings. Well, a lot of y'all ain't in here at the white ones. I'm sorry if you're white in here, I do apologize. But what I'm saying is, thank God for here today that y'all can hear each and every person's testimony. Because guess what? Every day I get up, all I got is this, my son ashes. They don't tell you, you know, they just don't tell you. The news won't talk to me because I guess I'm aggressive. I'm sorry for being aggressive with the microphone, but I'm gonna pass it.
No, but you have every right to be. You have every right to be, because those are real emotions. Even though you lost your son, you're still going through it. You know, I think that when someone loses someone, we all go through it. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, okay, you know, it doesn't really affect me." It don't affect you until it actually comes to your doorstep. You understand what I'm saying? So my prayers goes out to you, and I'm praying for justice for your son, just like anybody else who's praying for, you know, justice to find the people who actually did that, because nobody has a right to take a life.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to keep it at least like a minute, right? Keep it at least a minute. So I know we have a lot of stories to share, but we'll get a chance to kind of congregate with each other after as well. Shar, you have somebody over there?
My name is Ursula Kinsey. I am Shamari Fuller's mother out in the circuit for gun violence. I want to say I do appreciate you all doing what you're doing today. I spent $60,000 of my own money doing what you do every day. I am also an educator. My son went to school in Florida. He called me a semester later and said, Mom, I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to rap. I said, you want to rap some gifts? He said, no, I want to rap some songs. I was like, okay. He was working on becoming a rapper. He was an aspired rapper at the studios and everything. My son comes from an upper middle class neighborhood, went to the best school in Henry County, which is Eagles Landing Christian Academy. So when someone said, it's your home bringing, when I tell you he had his mother and his father, entrepreneurs in the house, they were there. Me not being a dream killer, my son said he wanted to be a rapper, not knowing what those avenues could bring. One of them is knowing the drug game, learning things that he didn't know. He wasn't that type of person, but he learned to be that type of person. I make no excuses for the choices he made. He was born to be successful, and he had a great mind to be an entrepreneur. But I want to say to you all as an educator, I teach 5th grade, and I had this discussion because I knew I was coming here today. We desensitize life with these games, with the guns. All my students want to shoot, whether it's a boy or a girl, and I know we're focusing a lot on the boys, but these girls are just as bad as hell. The other thing is, a lot of us don't know what that TikTok is doing to our kids. When you challenge a child to have someone to go into a teacher and knock them out and walk away, that's an issue. 2 weeks ago, I had a student to come to me and say he wanted to kill me and everybody in Africa because I import African foods. All I want to say is this. The person that killed my son robbed my son of his money and his jewelry because he was a little flashy. But it was a friend. And when we went to court, and this was in 2017, when we went to court, which was 5 years later because of COVID, the young man that was in the video who murdered my son, 48 hours, was captured. Was like, ATL was my dog. Everything I got on, he gave me. He bought this for me. But that was the same man that killed my child. So it's not just where we raise our students, because our children, because we're suburban. So we don't expect that to happen, but it's happening everywhere. And I'm gonna leave with this. We are always talking about Black Lives Matter, but my thing was, okay, you were talking about the cops killing us. Well, when the hell are we gonna stop killing us?
Exactly.
So thank you so much for letting me
Thank you so
speak.
much for that testimony. My prayers to you, babe.
Good evening. My name is Sharon. My son, Kanai Pierre Lewis, lost his life 2 months ago at the Chick-fil-A. It was all over the news and the papers and the radio. The Chick-fil-A on MLK. He was with friends, and one of the friends that killed him, he was wearing my son's clothes when he killed my son. After my son was laying out in front of the Chick-fil-A, bleeding out, the other friends went through all his stuff. These are the friends, slept at my house, ate my food, came to my house. He took them on interviews. He drove them around in his car. They went through, took his ID, everything, all of his stuff. Then they came to the funeral.
Oh my God.
And cried and acted like it was just, we don't know what happened. It was an accident. It was an accident. It was an accident. I just want people to understand this. Someone may not see what you're doing, but God sees what you're doing. At the end of the day, me being a mother and losing my 21-year-old son that had nothing but love for his friends and his family was just a life loss. My other children and the people in my community and all of the ones that came today have lost a light. My thing is this: when we are telling these kids they're not your friends, they are so adamant to us. They are so adamant. Ma, he don't got nowhere to go. Ma, can he just stay here? Ma, just make a little bit more so I can feed this one. And then for these people to be the people that conspired and to kill my child, it's like it's no remorse. When I spoke to the homicide detective, he said in the video, in the interrogation room, it was no remorse. It was no remorse. Like, you're in the interrogation room with my son's clothes on your body.
Wow.
And you just took my son's life.
Wow.
So, like I said, it was 2 months ago. My son would have been 22 next month, February 22nd. And I'm trying to be in the best positive light possible. I'm trying to let these kids know it's okay to fight. It's okay to fight. I'm 44 years old. I fought for many years. I never had to pick up a gun. If we fight and I lose, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm gonna see your mother, your aunt. I'm gonna see somebody tomorrow. But at least we got a chance to live and come back another day.
Exactly. Yep.
That is the point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Young Dro, and everybody on the panel. These kids need to stop being scared. If you put it out there, it comes back. And the problem is that they get these guns and think that they want to do these videos, and it's like they're Superman. Let me tell you, I never knew I had to research. Once I saw the autopsy photos of this huge hole in my son's heart, literally he shot him through the heart. I never knew what a bullet does. I never knew what and as a parent, me having to research that, it was just the worst thing ever. Willie Watkins want to tell you thank you, because we did have my son's service there. And to all the grieving mothers, just know I had to forgive these people in order for me to move on. I didn't forgive them for what they did. I forgive them for them being ignorant and not knowing that they took an angel from this world. Long live Kanai.
Long live Kanai.
Thank you so much.
Who?
We want to do a couple more for the families. Let's do a couple more. But we're gonna keep it down to at least like a minute, right? Okay, because we want to try to get most of the families. So
Yes.
at least a minute. Sharv, you can kind of.
Greetings, my name is Nadia Muhammad. I'm here to represent my brother. He was killed, Assad the guy. He was killed August 1st, 2020, murdered by gun violence, August 1st, 2020. And we took that situation and tried to turn our tragedy into triumph. We started a nonprofit in his name and started giving back to the community in his spirit. He was the type of person to give the last off his plate, the shirt off his back, his shoes for people. He brought so many people came to his funeral, and we saw how many lives that he touched. So we tried to take that and give back into our community instead of, getting angry and retaliating and those type of things. But the program that is here today, I want to say thank you all to everything that you do. But I think that the demographic of people in here are here because of the things that have happened to them. But the people that we really need to be getting this information to and being is out there in those streets. They're out there hurting someone right now. They're out there holding a gun right now. They're out there in fear or protection of themselves right now in these very moments that we're in these four walls. And losing my brother, I learned that we have to get out there and give back to our people so that we can curtail some of the disparities that they have, the drug problems that they have, the mental health issues that they have. And we got so much value from actually knocking on doors, being in those communities, and being with those people. So I implore everyone to, unite up under what we're doing here today, but take it out here to these streets, to these children who are actually out here. We ask, well, who's fascinated with guns and those type of things? Well, probably not some of these people, young people in here necessarily, but there are children out here and young people who do these things and are just dying due to a lack of knowledge of self, knowledge of God, and knowledge of the enemy, and who is really putting these guns in our communities, these drugs in our community, and really getting to the root issues of how we can curtail how these things even happen in our community so that we can create solutions.
Absolutely.
I love every last one of
Thank
you
you.
all, and I thank you for being here.
Absolutely, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
My name is Pio. I go by Politically Oppressed. Thank you all for having this event. I just wanted to say real quick to the brother's question. He said, why do we like guns so much? And I think the question should be, why don't we love each other enough? America's culture is full of guns. You know, the Second Amendment is an inalienable right that we have. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Absolutely. And, you know, I was shot 4 times and paralyzed from the waist down. And I seen a brother I was with, he died with me, you know, that night. And like the sister said earlier, I come from a 2-parent home. My parents are I'm from the suburbs, you know. I don't come from that life. But I think it's the culture of killing that attracts these young people to the streets. It's kind of like you don't have a choice because, I'm gonna say it like this, we're born in sin and shaped in iniquity. You can't blame these young people for what they see and what they're born into. It's not the young people's fault. You know, we need to love each other. That's what I want to say more. Without love, we don't have nothing. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, every time I'm looking at a black man, I'm looking at God. And if we teach each other that, when I see my brother, how could I kill God? How could I kill my brother? There's no way that I could kill myself, you know? And the real problem is the lack of love that we have for each other. And like Sister Nadia said, Asad was my best friend. He died August 1st, 2020. And that hurt me. That broke me even more than I'm already broken. I got PTSD. I'm paranoid. I wanted to bring a gun in here, you know? So the problem is not, why do we like guns so much? Why is the culture like it is? Why is there's guns everywhere in America? There's over 300 million guns in the homes of American people. So these young people, what do you think they're going to do when they see thousands of guns on GTA and TV? All they see is reenactments of death, the police killing us, killing on TV, school shootings. It's a culture of death in America that we have to come out of. But it starts with love for self. When we love each other, we can change the culture. We got to change this culture of killing each other.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love that message right there. Love it. Next, okay. How you doing?
Right, how are y'all doing? I want to give my condolences to all the parents who lost a loved one, or anyone in here who's lost a loved one. Give my condolences. My son, Justin Powell, I'm Hakeem, I'm his father. I'm going to try to keep this short, but it's going to be very, very hard to say what I got to say, keep it under a minute. You know, I appreciate you, Dro. Dro reached out to me. I didn't have to reach out to him. He reached out to me. You know, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the whole panel. You know, my son was killed last month on the 17th, him and his best friend, Malik.
Take your time.
I got asked about music and things like that. Dro makes pretty positive music. Stuff like that can't even be made. You can't even get a deal no more if you're trying to make a record like that. They won't even let you do it. My son told me about this drill music. Times have changed. You know, I'm old school. Things are different now, you know. At my time, I ain't never seen a 3-year-old read your book, and I'm not talking about See Spot Run. I'm talking about a real book. 3 years old doing that now. Y'all don't think something changed? Y'all don't think something different going on? It gotta be. It gotta be something different going on. See, we talking about these teens, you know. Now, my son come from a 2-parent home. You know what I'm saying? A good home. He got 2 homes. You know, I stay out in Rockdale. Yes, his mother stays out. Me and his mother been separated for a few years, but I've always been in my son's life. Talk to him every day. Every day. I got kids that call me dad, and I'm not their biological father. So I can say this, that I've always been a good dad. Always been in their lives. I raised more than 10 kids. What we have to do is, we can't wait till they get 10 years old. No, we too late. We are too late. We got to snatch them up when they 3 and 4, and get on them then. You know, if you can, you can. My telephone number is 470-902-6522. I care. You know, any one of y'all young cats, take my number down.
Absolutely.
You need somebody, take my number down.
We appreciate you standing up and taking a stand for
My
that.
number is 470.
Make sure y'all write it down.
902-6522.
Absolutely.
Now, what I want to do, I want some of y'all brothers who out here, follow the example. Each one teach one. Right? If we say one, we done something. Yeah. But we got to start somewhere. Yes. We got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. I thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Especially.
Appreciate you, Dro.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We want to do one more, and then we're going to have to get started on the panel. So one more.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
I'm-
How are
I'm
you
right
all?
here.
Thank
Hi.
you so much for allowing us to vent, for allowing me to vent. I am the grandmother of 14-year-old. Malik was 14. Only a week before Christmas, he lost his life to gun violence with Justin. They both, and Malik was running. He was trying to get away. He wasn't bothering anyone. Neither was Justin. He was shot in the back. Justin was shot 5 times. And this all started from social media. Malik was brought up, he was raised. I'm the grandmother and my husband. We brought Malik home from the hospital. So I'm like mom to Malik. And right now I'm very devastated. I'm very hurt because you know why? For Christmas, we were making funeral arrangements for Malik on Christmas Eve. That's somewhere nobody ever wants to be, never. And so was Justin's family. So I just want to say, young kids, please, you might think these kids are here, your friends, but they're not. Listen to your family. And I was going to say, too, thank you for allowing me to get my word out because my husband and I have been to detectives. Nobody's never reached out to us. We went there. We made phone calls, so last week we were going face to face. You know what they said? We still don't have anything. We still don't know anything, but there were people around. So those 2 died, but there were 3 others that were shot in the leg. And Malik's I don't want his life to go in vain. Thank you.
And it won't.
You're welcome.
Because, again, God sees all. So people think they're getting away with murder. Trust me, it happens. You get caught sooner or later. Trust me. Mayor Khalid?
Yes, that is a great segue, Jazz. These stories they're heartbreaking and they're tragic. One of the things that has been so surprising to me, visiting so many groups and talking to so many young men, is the nonchalance that some young men have when it comes to the consequences of their actions. I'll never forget, we were at Dorch Williamson Funeral Home. Dorch Williamson, shout out. We had Next Level Boys Academy there, and we were talking to some of the young men, and so many young men were like, well, you know, if I go to jail, I go to jail. If I get shot, I get shot. You know, and there was a real disconnect with the consequences of their actions. So as we move into this panel now, I would love to start with Mr. Trav Barber, because yes, go ahead, give this man a round of applause. If you've read his book or you've seen his movie, you know that nothing you could ever do could prepare you to spend years and most of your days for years in a cell. And so I just wonder if you could share with the young people in this audience who are thinking about or not thinking about some of the decisions that they make, how that experience really changed the way you saw what you were doing before you went in.
It's a touchy subject, but it has to be said. To all the mothers and the fathers that are grieving the loss of their child, my heart goes out. I sat on the defendant's stand for 7 days for a murder that I did not commit. I was shot 2 times in the process of trying to save my life and the life of my friends. And I'm getting convicted for aggravated assault and carrying a weapon in the commission of a crime. I was sentenced to 20 years. I served 10 in. I just got off parole last year in August. Looking at the mother of the deceased, it haunts me to this day. Even though I didn't have the gun that killed her son, I partook in the activities that took his life. And then having to look back at my mother losing her son to the system, you know, it was a double-edged sword for me. And upon me coming home from prison, I started an organization called One More Question. It's for young men that don't have a father in the household that have questions, and I answer those questions. I have partnered with Great Memorial Hospital for therapy sessions and medical care for parents that don't have the finances to get the treatment that they need, because counseling is the best thing for people like us. And partnered with Pink and Cold Foundation that's doing life insurance for black males 18 to 45 and black females that identify as males. Life insurance is free for a year, and you get financial guidance throughout that year. And after that, it's $15 a month. I've partnered with the Feeding Georgia Families to get free food on Mondays, but the cost of getting the box trucks and everything has limited me. I partnered with Now Faith Church in Rex County. They gave me $100,000 worth of brand new clothes, summer clothes. So I want to feed these boys, clothe these boys. Now I can preach to them, I can talk to them, they can listen. I got a mentor program at KIPP Charter. I got all 11 schools. It's going to start up on February the 3rd. It's going to be a leadership program. They have also hired me to be the youth crisis consultant for the whole school. I go in and handle individual situations. I had a book club at Usher Collier for 4th to 5th grade boys, reading comprehension and conflict resolution. Even on parole, these are the things that I did. I knew my community was missing, and the things that I needed growing up that I didn't have. So when I got to prison, I had an excuse. My father wasn't there. But now I'm the father of so many young black boys and white boys and green. But I need for you all to start tapping in to the nonprofits that are doing the work. You stand where you stand in that joint line, you need to stand up and donate to the community activists that are doing the work. And for me, I just want my life to be an example of what life is like after indictment, after 3 bullets, after losing your wife, your family, your money, your home, everything. But I found my way when I found Christ. So I'm sitting here today on this panel making a difference in my community. So y'all, the Justice League, can y'all stand up? Y'all can get with them, get my information. I want to give some clothes, some food, and get y'all plugged in with Grady, get some counseling for these young men. And I got some job placements too. I love y'all, man. We all we got.
That's hard. That's deep. Yes,
my
sir.
social media is One More Question. My website is question.org. We got work to do, fellas. I need the black men to stand with me, man. And don't be afraid of these little boys, man, because they're kids. I love y'all.
I want to say to the parents out there, like, when you hear, when I hear a brother like that speak and have all these opportunities, we gotta start acting like real parents to these children. Tell them where they're gonna go. Don't let them decide on their own. You decide for what your child wants. You know what I mean? And start it early so you won't have to do it when they're 17 and when they bucking. You feel me? Start controlling them when they 3 and 4 years old and stay on them until they grown up and can make their own decisions. But when we got opportunities like this young man that done been through something and he's actually giving back, you gotta push your child toward that. Yeah. You gotta find out what you doing today. Oh, you ain't doing that? I'm taking you down here to this hill. We're gonna work over here and I'm gonna know where you at. You feel me? And these phones that they got, you can track your child on this phone, you feel me? So while you buying them that expensive phone, it also tells you where they at. So let's get involved.
I do want to ask just a question about, moving forward and how someone who's found themselves trapped in this life might reinvent themselves. So sitting next to me here on this couch is my brother, Dr. Mark Baker. Definitely give him a round of applause. This is a young man who, I'm gonna let him tell his story, but he grew up on the west side of Chicago, went from that to becoming a police, to becoming a councilman, to becoming a PhD. So I'm just wondering, what advice would you give to young people who see that they are stuck in this life and they want to get out?
I think my overt advice is something that ironically comes from sitting at Next Level Boys Academy with Gary Davis behind me, my frat brother. What's the guy named? The Alpha? The slim guy, Sabri. Sabri says at the end of every time he's present at Next Level Boys Academy that I encourage every one of you to read something about Black history. Something about Black history. Like, he doesn't say what it needs to be, but just something. I attended Clark Atlanta University, and in 21, I have a PhD in African American Studies, and I taught current issues in African American Studies at Clark Atlanta University. I think that when you read something and you inwardly digest what our people have gone through, it becomes one of those things that you equip yourselves mentally, and you will, like right here, we're talking about putting the guns down. That all sounds good. This is my son to my left. He's been around guns his whole life. I mean, I had to survive the west side of Chicago where I learned how to hold a gun the wrong way sideways, not even knowing, Nick, that there were even sights on the weapon. But it's one of those things that when you learn that there are traps in society that's created just for you, you then want to do everything you can to play hopscotch around it. Like, I left Chicago, went to New Orleans for college, came home for Christmas with some friends, and caught a felony and was facing 4 to 8 years. So it's like, I don't talk about all of those things that much because being on city council with Khalid as we started the city of South Fulton in 2017, I allowed my legislation to speak for itself. I tried to do everything, and people never understood why, me and the mayor fought so much for the least of these, because I've been through it. So I grew up, I understood what Larry Hoover was trying to do when he started, or he changed Gangster Disciple to Growth and Development. So when we have those food giveaways with the Justice League and TRAP and all of the stuff that we do for prison reform and Larry Hoover Day, that's the root of it. Because I don't run away from anything that was my past, I lean into it. Because that is what made me the person that I am today. When it comes to being an independent education consultant, a professor in college, a school resource officer, from South Fulton and Bear Creek and Renaissance and all of those schools, Langston Hughes and Creekside, I've been around the majority of these kids, and those kids were the people who saw me treat them fair and saw me give them deference, and they ran my campaigns all the way up to my most recent congressional run last year. Mauricio, one of the kids that stood up with his child and asked a question, he's one of my kids. So it's like, I think that when you know that there's traps that are set for you, you want to say, okay, all right, I see what's going on. And we can't solve a problem at the stem. You have to go to the root. What is the root? We're in the city of South Fulton. It's the blackest city in America, and people don't even like us to say it. Our mayor says it, and it's 92% African American. But we don't have the 4 major institutions that we need to actually make it work for our people. We don't have a black-owned supermarket. We don't have our own hospital. We don't have our own banking institution. You follow what I'm saying? We don't have these things that if our dollar was able to circulate around, and I was demonized on council. It's not a secret. When I abolished Columbus Day, I had Italian people sending me crazy emails, but we're miseducating our children. And I couldn't even go to schools in South Fulton to tell them, hey, we celebrate Indigenous People Day now after I passed this legislation, because they thought it to be instructional conflict. So it's like if we learn what's going on and understand why they're against us and the power that we really have. Like, I have a son right here next to me who I tell him every morning, the mayor and I were chastised when we first started council because we didn't put our hands over our hearts during the flag ceremony in our council meetings. And I just felt hypocritical to do that after my son made a decision himself in like 5th grade where he was like, yo, like Kaepernick kneeled and I still got to do this? I don't feel comfortable doing it. And then daddy has to go to work and do it? Nah. So we got to start as adults setting the precedents and showing these folk, like, yo, we're not going to just fall for everything. And we're going to take stands against the things that are wrong. People had a problem with a lot of this legislation, but I set up, me and Shaw, we out there every time something happened. We call ourselves, the mayor and I, elected activists, so to speak, because the legislation that we want to continue to have infectious in South Fulton can lead the way. We banned the box for convicted felons on those applications that people run away from. We passed the Central Park 5 legislation with the exonerated 5 from when they see us. And we had Yusuf Salam, Raymond Santana to work with me on that legislation so that when police have our young people, they just can't handle them any kind of way. All of these things, and I encourage you guys to register to vote. Not to vote for me, even though I might run for Congress again. Not to vote for me, though, but just because when brothers like Trap end up locked up, right? And we ask everybody, when you go to these trials and you see us not being judged by juries of our peers, and we wonder why the jury selection doesn't look like us, hell, it's because y'all didn't register to vote so y'all can be a part of the process. Y'all don't want to hear that part, I understand. But it's just like if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And black kids have been on the menu, and we have to switch up our styles eventually, or it's going to be a detriment not only to us, but to our future generations. Are you?
Thank you. All right, we're talking about schools. We're talking about schools, and on this stage left, we've got Best Academy, Harper Archer, and I'm going to let you all just introduce yourselves and talk about all the schools. I don't know all the schools that are up there. I know my brother Sledge is a social worker from everywhere from Heritage Elementary on Old National all the way up to Open Campus. They call it something else now. They called it Open Campus when I went there. But yes, there's only so much that you all can do in that 8-hour day. But just talk to us as teachers. What do you all need from us?
Good evening, folks. Good afternoon. Man, we've been here for a while, and this thing has been burning. I literally, as a principal at the Best Academy, 30318, that's off Bankhead. I hope y'all know where that's at. If you don't, you will know the best. Change has to be with your behavior. If you're going to change your behavior, that means you have to change your habits. So the question I'm asking, because I have parents come in and we talk to parents and we have these meetings with the parents and the kids, how many of you tonight that are parents are willing to go home and say that, hey, I need to change my habits to save my kid's life? Once we start talking in those type of premises, You know, because even I got 2 boys at home. It's some things I got to do different because I know that they watching me. So damn this thing talking about don't do what I do what I say. No, sir. No, sir. You have to be the influence. It's too many influence.
Good evening. I am Dr. Caldwell, and I serve as an assistant principal at Harper Archer Elementary. The first thing I want to do, there's 2 points I want to make. I want to paint a picture. At 2:45, I service over 600 kids. I have 3 buses that goes to Allen Temple. You can call it the Commons, but it's still Allen Temple. There's about 75 kids on each bus. You do the math. 75 times 3. I have over 200 kids, so math. 75 times 3. I have over 200 kids. So when I pull up on MLK, I stop traffic for 3 bus load of kids to unload the bus. But when I pull up, my parents are cursing, fighting each other on the phone, right? Because as soon as a kid get off the bus and start, right? So now I get off the bus because at this point, my kids are watching you. The next day, take that as Monday morning, we start at 7:10. You cannot imagine how many kids from kindergarten to 5th grade that comes in to show me on their cell phones how many physical fights that happened while they were home in those 4 walls on a weekend. And when a kindergartner, come on, Tim, says to me, my uncle said, Miss Caldwell, you had to see him. He raised his shirt, and he said, you can get it, a kindergartner. So they do what they see. And he is 5, showing me in full demonstration how his uncle pulled a gun on another person. That's a problem. Now I have to have a conversation to say, I cannot control what goes on at your home, but when you are here, this is the right thing that you are supposed to do. However, it backs me into a corner because, guess what they say? My mama said, I don't have to do that. So my challenge is, it starts with us as adults. What they hear, what they see. That's my first one. My second one. Now when I see these cell phones, parents, please go through your kids' phones.
Please.
Go through your kids' phones.
It's not a lot of claps for that. It's quiet.
Come on now.
Here.
You have to. I am an extension. So this is happening when they're home. So this Instagram live, that when parents come in my office and say their child don't have an account, and I say, no ma'am, because I have a recording. See, I'm that type. I'm going to go get everybody. Show me who all was on the live. Who said what to who? And you got a gun waving on the live that you telling somebody else what you going to do to them tomorrow. That's a problem for me. So I'm telling you, partner with your schools because we see a lot, we hear a lot. We are an extension of you. Please check your kids' phones. Check the delete. That's where it go down there. All the deleted videos and the deleted messages, that's where the action at. Trust me, because when I go through there, I see it all. Text messages, they burying them. It's something called hidden. Come on now, iPhone users. It's called hidden. It's so many videos. They talk to each other. They're so reckless. When they speak, they don't even know how to communicate with each other. Because guess what? When you come to school, you don't know how to communicate with me either. So it's what they hear and what they see. And I'm telling you, you will put so many pieces of the puzzle together when you check those cell phones. So my challenge tonight is to look to your left and to your right. Stop turning a blind eye. Y'all see parents, and I want to lift what the young lady said about we got the right ones in the room. It's up to you to go out there to the ones that you know that's not doing the right thing. And you tell them, bruh, we got to stop. We got to stop. Because it starts with one. And when that one tells another one, and that one tells another one, it spread. Trust me. Every day, we are given a message that what we do in school, we want to make sure it goes home. But our backs are against the wall when parents are saying otherwise. So my challenge to you tonight is for it to start with you. Thank you.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Kedrick Sledge. Like the mayor said, I'm actually a social worker for Fulton County Schools. I wanted to come here to be utilized as a resource because we do have mental health resources in the schools free of charge, at the school and outside of school. Even if you don't have insurance, we still can provide you that resource. So I wanted to be used as a resource. Is it okay if I get my contact information? For anyone that need resources, I'm going to give you my contact information. If you can write it down, my cell phone number is 404-964-3377. If you need mental health resources, you can reach out to me. I'll follow up with you first thing in the morning. 404-964-3377. Kedrick Sledge. I'm a school social worker for Fulton County Schools, and I can get you free mental health resources because they definitely need it. And my heart goes out to the families as well, and I want to encourage you guys to get mental health resources as well. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We got the great Greg Street in the building. I had to bring my boy in. You dig? Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I watch and I study a lot of different things when it comes to our community. As a lot of the educators in the building know, and a lot of the kids know, probably about 17, 18 years ago, I switched my scholarship program into something to focus more on literacy, where I pay kids to read in about 15 or 20 different schools in and around Atlanta from all the different counties. And the reason why I did that, because in like 2005, 2006, if y'all remember, the media attacked all the inner city schools saying all the kids read below grade level. So that was the catalyst for me changing the program to make it more about literacy and focusing on elementary school kids and middle school kids. But for the adults in the building, the big problem that I see that we have is really simple, and it's fear. The biggest problem that we have in our community is fear. And one of the other biggest problems, one of my mentors was the late, great Dr. Mansour. And Dr. Mansour told me in 1998 at Mars Brown College at the Black History Program that one of the biggest problems in the urban community, in the black community, is expectations. So when you mix the fear with the expectations, because everybody thinks that somebody else is going to do something for them and it's going to take them to where they want to go. Or somebody's going to give them something that they think they deserve that they may not really deserve. And we don't understand that when we wake up every day and we have our plan and you walking through life, you making right turns and left turns. And the more you stay focused on where it is you're trying to go, where you're trying to go versus getting off track, the more blessings come to you. When you drive, when you stay in that right lane, blessings come upon you in abundance. But when you make those left turns, when you make those wrong turns, young men, that's when all the problems start. Because once you realize what you got into, whether you go to jail, whether you get in trouble, whatever happens, you got to come out of that to try to get back on track. What they have, how many times have you watched the motivational speaker speak and he talk about what kind of watches he got, what kind of cars he drive, what kind of suit he got on? He's talking, they're paying him to talk about the struggle, how he or she got to where they are. That is the value. The value is in the story. The value is in you going to class every day, trying to figure out how to do what I don't like to do. If you don't like to read, but if you teach yourself to read, if you don't like math, but you teach yourself math, you're going to be able to you're going to be able to overcome any obstacle, because you're putting yourself in a mind. You got to put yourself in that mind state to where I'm constantly learning. I'm not running from the challenge. These little boys with these pistols, they're running from the challenge. We all have a gift.
Hey.
The blessing is in the gift.
So look, y'all, if y'all not listening, y'all gonna leave without something. I want to take this chance to say we're gonna transition. This is It Still Takes a Village. This is the hip hop edition. So I want to have a quick moment of silence for all the rappers that we have lost to gun violence. Amen. Amen. Hey, I want to take this time to introduce Miss Kathy. This is Trouble Mom.
It's Kathy.
Give her a round of applause, guys. Let me hear it.
I want to say this family, they've been my rock. Miss Kathy, Toya, Jay, this is his sister. This is Jay. I was definitely part of the family. I've known him for years and years and years. We locked in. So when I came out here, I said, you know, this is really heavy for me, and I had to go in the back and let out a cry a little bit because it's still new for me. So I said, Jay, you can come up here. This is his uncle. So if you don't know who Trouble is, I knew Marielle, Scoob, Trouble, however y'all wanted to say it. But this woman right here, she has been so strong for everybody. So I just want to say I love you. I'm never going anywhere, regardless. We in this thing together. So I know I said I'm not going to pressure you to say anything. So Toy, you do want to say anything, or Jay? Miss Kathy? Okay. Jay?
We thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
You
We
so
all
much
love
for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
We love all the mothers for that fact.
If I can say anything to anybody, man, I just want to say that everything that everybody up here doing is positive, and I encourage everybody to listen to what's going on. I mean, because like Dro said earlier, man, accountability and honestly just accepting your truth. Accepting your truth. When you accept your truth, then at the end of the day, everything else is a lie. And at the end of the day, our biggest problem in our community is the truth. We don't speak up enough. We don't tell the truth enough. We're being labeled as snitches when we tell the truth. And at the end of the day, that's where we get our bad stipulations from, because we as black people, we already get shunned for telling the truth and being looked at as a snitch. So that's the biggest problem in our community in the first place, is that we don't even have the room to speak the truth, because the truth in our community get us killed. So at the end of the day, like I said, I commend Dro for saying what he said earlier about speaking in truth. That's the biggest thing we need to learn how to do, y'all, is be honest.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we're going to get out of here in just a few minutes. wanted to do a different kind of benediction, but I would be remiss as the mayor of the city of South Fulton if I did not give a few minutes to my mayor, the mayor of Old National, Mr. Tory Tomlinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Tory Tomlinson. My company is ONE, Old National Entertainment. My nonprofit is Bless One Community. We specialize in doing unique, creative events in our community. Like he said, it takes a village. And me, Trap, Dr. Mark, Khalid, we have been working together in the community, as a community, for the past 7 years. And I just want everybody in here that's here to give yourselves a round of applause for being here. And as being an event, as someone who throws events, when you leave here, you need to talk about this event like you just left the club and tell everybody about what happened here tonight so we can have double the crowd and double of the bad kids, the young men and the young women that need to be here. See, I'm going to flip it on the kids today, so I'm going to apologize to the kids that are here. I'm going to apologize for some of the parents of my generations because we spoiled y'all. And we spoiled y'all knowing when we didn't have that upbringing like that. See, I'm going to tell my age. I'm from the generation where the teachers would spank you and whoop you in school. I'm from the generation where when I came home Saturday night, regardless of what I had going on, my mama made me go to church Sunday morning. I'm from the generation that played outside. I'm from the yes ma'am, no ma'am generation. You feel what I'm saying? So we slipped on some of those ground rules, and actually that's how a lot of us made it, because we had those little things instilled in us to where today we know what respect is. And these young men and women, they don't have that in them at all. And it's just hurtful. So with that being said, I just wanted to say that, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for having me.
All right, don't leave, don't leave. We've got a final performance, but before that, we have one more quick panel. We're just going to do a couple of minutes. I call this the benediction because I want us to leave in an optimistic fashion. So if we could make some spaces on the couches, I'm going to call out
Khalid, NAACP real quick.
NAACP, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Karen Renee. I'm with the Atlanta NAACP. Very proud to be here. I just want to say thank you. We support this initiative. I appreciate all the panelists. I just want to say love and respect. We have to learn to love and respect each other. We have to get back to love and respect and to start speaking to one another. Black folks, stop saying hello. When did that happen? We got to start saying hello to each other. When you see your brothers and sisters coming in the store, hello, how you doing? We used to say that all the time. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. We with the Atlanta NAACP, we are with you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Khalid, before you do that, I want everybody in the building, if you got a cell phone, take your calculator out. This is going to be 1 minute. I forgot to mention this, 1 minute. This is something that I stay up at night and dream about this type of stuff. Take your calculators out. And I want you to think, Khalid, think real deep. If you look at the top 20 cities in the United States of America, New York, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, Philly, D.C., all the top cities. Then you throw in the Bay Area, then you look at Memphis and New Orleans and Baton Rouge and all these cities. I want you to think real deeply. Probably over 200 or 300 young black men die every day. So this is the other side of the trick that y'all don't think about, because what they do is figure out how to monetize what we do stupid in our community. They don't have to push the gun issue. They're not pushing it, we pushing it. But when you take those numbers and you multiply that times 7, multiply that times 52, that's how many people are estimated how many people are dying every year. Multiply that times 5 in the next 5 years, because a lot of murder cases have more than one person involved. In the next 5 years, there will be close to 500,000 young black men in prison doing 25 to life.
Message.
All right, so First, before I bring these few people out, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge all of the incredible elected officials that have come out. I'm going to start with my commissioner, Khadija Abdul-Rahman, and my council that's here tonight, Dr. Catherine Rowell, this is her district, District 1. Mr. Corey A. Reeves, District 5, is he still here? And our newest councilwoman, Ms. Linda Pritchett. Now, this last piece is so important to me personally because so much of the despair that I see happening in our communities is that our children don't see that many ways out, right? There's rapping, trapping, athletics, and maybe if you're really smart, you know, you can make A's and B's and go to college. But there are so many other ways to be successful. So I want to introduce you to some young millionaires, 100,000aires, super successful people under 40 that are here in our city. First, I want to bring up a man that went from being in the streets on Old National to being the businessman driving that beautiful, I can't even pronounce that car that's out there. It's a mix something. McLaren.
McLaren.
Mr. Ray Mills, would you come on out, sir? And then in the city of South Fulton, right around the corner, we have two young men that have opened up an entire studio as big as a city block, 20,000, 30,000 square feet of studio space. Also under 40, Mr. Rory and Cash from Vivid Rich Studios. And then a young man who has financed through crowdfunding an entire community that he built from scratch, Mr. Booker T. Washington. I'm gonna just ask if we could just pass this mic down, and if you could just, each one of you just give a few minutes, just tell us of your story. I would love to start with Mr. Ray Mills because I know a little bit of your story. We both grew up on Peppermill Lane in Creel Park off of Old Nat. So can you just talk about how you went from being in the streets to that McLaren?
It's just a car. But yeah, I was born and raised. I'm a Grady baby. And I terrorized the streets of College Park for many years. But you can change your life. It is not about how you start, it's how you finish. I had my daughter 13 years ago. That's what made me come out the street, stop selling drugs, and actually go legit. So I've been legit a little over 12 years now. But with that being said, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I chose to reach out to and have mentors to help me, you know, make that transition out of the streets because I wanted better, not just for myself, but for my family, my daughter, you know. And poison in the street, well, I'm not going to get that deep, but nonetheless, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Thank you. Okay, he want me to finish talking. Well, I made the transition again. I had reached out and got some mentors. I got out of jail in 2011. And once I got out of jail, I met my wife shortly after. And she basically said, Negro, you got to change. And that's exactly what I did. Because it was either her or the drugs. And I chose her.
Message.
Now, some days, I don't know if I made the right choice, but, you know. I love her, I'm playing. Ooh, boy, I'm gonna sleep in the guest room tonight. But nonetheless, those of you out there that may not be on the right path, reach out to somebody that is. Don't be too, I don't care how much money you're making, because when I was out there, I made millions. And it wasn't about how much I was making, it's about what you want. And it's about, you know, what do you want to do? What's your end result? Because I tell people all the time, the streets are undefeated. Ain't nobody ever beat them. It's either jail or the cemetery. Point blank, period. So if you looking to go to one of them too soon, keep doing what you're doing. But if you care about your life, your family's life, because it's not just about you, that's another thing. It's about your mom, your dad, your aunties, your friends. When you do something stupid, it's not just about you. You hurting a lot of people, you know? But nonetheless, again, I'm finished talking. I thank you for your time. And it's not how you start, it's what?
You finish.
Thank you.
You gave us a nugget there. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Elijah Muhammad always talks about when you raise a woman, you raise a nation. Could we just give a shout out for the women who keep their standards high and force us to come up and meet them? We need you all to keep doing that. I'm going to bounce back and forth over on this side. Mr. Booker T. Washington, tell us about your rise to success, sir.
Well, first, I just want to say, you know, listen to all these stories. My heart goes out to all you mothers, your fathers, all these families, all these lost kids. It pains me because I was that kid out on these streets with a mother that worked her best, did her best. And I grew up around Southwest Atlanta. We lived in every corridor of South Fulton. We bounced around pretty much every year to a different apartment for 10, 15 years. And, you know, one thing is, and this is one thing I teach my daughter. My daughter is 16 years old. I'm very honest with her. My mom was very honest with me. And it's one thing I do realize with some parents today, that we're not as honest with our kids as we should. Growing up, we grew up off of Campbellton Road, apartments that are now burned and abandoned, by the way. But my mom said this. She said, look, I'm not going to be home when you get home. I'm going to be working. I'm going to give you enough money, which was $5, go down to the corner store. Go down to the corner store, don't talk to nobody, get what you're going to get, come back home, lock the door. When I call you, you better answer the phone. If you don't answer the phone, I'm coming home to get you. And then you're going to sit right beside me at this bar while I bartend. And the biggest thing she ever told me, she's like, look, the only thing I can give you protection is God and the truth. You go out there, you go down them dark alleys, you go to your friend's house. When I tell you don't go to your friend's house, you're going to come home dead. And she says, the only person that can protect you really is God and this truth that I'm telling you. So that's one thing that I grew up with. I was a latchkey kid. I went to South Fulton schools, went to Silver Middle School, went to Thurl High School, went to Washington High School, went to North Atlanta High School. But the biggest thing is, she says, listen to every adult that comes around you, because every voice you hear is God speaking to you when I'm not around. And every voice I ever heard, from going to school to moving around Atlanta and becoming a professional, I went to Georgia Southern, got a bachelor's degree. I didn't do well in school, graduated with a 2.6, barely got out, got a probation letter every year, went to school. But the biggest thing about it is that I wanted to live. There's nothing cool about dying. And there's a lot of guarantees in this life, and there's a lot of them. They're going to always have prisons. There's always going to be somebody that's going to tell you what to do. There's always going to be death. There's going to always be the devil. There's going to always be God. And my mom always said, you know, the devil and God bless you, but there's only one of them that's going to not abandon you. The moment you get in trouble, the devil is exit stage left, and you're going to be in prison, and somebody's going to tell you what to do for many, many years, and that ain't cool. Dying, not cool. Laughing at your friend that has a gun, not cool. Because I always say, what is it, and raise your hand in here, what is it that you're trying to be? What's on television? If you want to be dressed in Jordans and jewels and jewelry, raise your hand if you think that's really cool. If you want to be famous and everybody speak your name, raise your hand and think that's really cool. If you want everybody to know who you are and who you hang with because that makes you feel good, raise your hand. Y'all realize how many young kids in the front keep raising their hand? That's because that's what they see. But they got to know how you get there. And so for me, I'm a real estate developer. I own a company called Techie Homes. And we have built the first black developed micro community in the United States. That's located in College Park. Now, the coolest thing about it is I didn't build a community to be cool or even know that we were going to build the first black. I just said I used to go up and down Godby Road as a little kid, ride my bicycle. And everything that was on Godby Road and in College Park is still there today that was there 20 years ago. I'm 39, by the way. So the same fried food places, the same Popeyes, the Longhorn's not there no more, but Camelot still is, and a lot of other places are still there. So when I got through my professional career, I was riding down these streets, and I said, you know what? These streets are never going to change. They're undefeated. Like my man said, they're undefeated. So do something about it. Do something about teaching your kids there's a different path. You can be a rapper. You can be an artist. You can be anything you want to be to make millions. But the biggest thing is just make a choice, because I became a millionaire because I just wanted to develop the community I grew up in. That's it. And I asked everybody in my community to help me do it. We crowdfunded that community. So when someone earlier said we have so much money floating around in our ecosystem, we can own a bank. Who told you we couldn't own a bank?
I'm sorry, you got to break that. What is crowdfunding?
Crowdfunding is, raise your hand if you got $5 in your pocket right now. Crowdfunding is just that. If I came and got your $5 from all of you guys, and there's enough of us around this community in South Fulton and everywhere, and I ended up with $1 million, you know how much I can own with $1 million and build that all of us will have ownership in? I could take $1 million, go get a loan for $10 million, and all of a sudden I got a brick and mortar building owned by a black man, ran by black people, with black people that have ownership. That's all that is. But we'll spend the $5. We'll go to wherever we want to go and spend it, but we won't spend it on the things that really matter. And we have choice. I get so tired of our community saying, well, this person did it and that person did it and we don't have ownership. No, you made a choice not to have ownership. You made a choice not to go ask your friends. No one's inflicting these choices on you. The police are not inflicting these choices on you. Matter of fact, most of these police, I know there's some, they're protecting themselves. Because you brought so much fear in the community. Everybody is in protection of this fear. But you made a choice to inflict the fear. You made the choice to put the gun in your waist. You made the choice to scream at somebody. You made the choice to not tell your kids the truth. Some of you parents are making a choice to ride in the car with the rap music and bop your head along with them.
Preach.
So when the choice comes back, it hurts. So we all have choices, and there's different lanes to be a millionaire. There's different lanes to be notarized. There's different lanes, as all your kids are raising their hands, there's different lanes to have all the things that they want. But the biggest thing is tell them the truth, be honest, understand we all have choices, understand that all those choices end up and they matter, and just know I'm here also to help. My name's Booker T. Washington. My social is Mr._Booker T. I run a construction site. If your kids want jobs, come down to the dead end of Godby Road. You as an adult want a job, come down to the dead end of Godby Road. You want to be a millionaire, come down to the dead end of Godby Road, because I'm there every day. And people that look like me are there every day. That is a multi-million dollar development, and I'll have less than 8% black people that work on that development. You know why? Because we don't have no skills. We don't have skills because the kids are on the phones all day long. And the person that gave them the phone is the parent. So if you want to change the lanes, you want to change the things you do, there are resources and things out here. Mayor Khalid is doing a great job in South Fulton of trying to introduce those. But individuals like me, I'm not a rapper, I'm not a singer, I'm not this, I'm not that. I am rich, but I'm rich because I just chose to make a choice to do something different. And that difference is just do something. Because I came from a poor neighborhood, I came from a poor apartment, I came from every little thing you can say. And no, I wasn't gifted anything. I went to school, I had bad grades, but the one thing I knew I didn't want to do is die.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And I just for the young people that, you know, that you say you want these nice things, on your way out, I want you to see that the two baddest cars in the lot are owned by a construction real estate developer and someone who owns a daycare Mills Academy after-school program on Old National. So there are so many paths to success. These
let me add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's cool to have nice things, but it's not the car. It's the person driving it. You feel what I'm saying? It's the person that's in the car is way more important.
Thank you, thank you. These last three folks, we talked a lot about the people that are making the music. We talk about the people that are in front of the cameras, but I want you to know that there are 100 jobs behind the cameras, and that's where some of the biggest money is. So I want to introduce you to Mr. Rick Ross, the producer, Grammy Award-winning producer, that's teaching our young people not only how to make the music, but how to own the music that they make.
Well, first of all, I'm definitely not under 40. And I'm not the rapper nor the producer, but I am a record company executive. And I've been in this industry for the last 36 years. But before I even go there, let me just say this. Dro, I love you. You guys don't even understand what he's doing. I worked with Dro when he first came out. I took him on his first promo tour, taught him how to live on the road. And to see the transformation is incredible. And I'm glad that he stood out from the crowd to do this, because he didn't have to. And I'm ashamed and I'm disappointed that his colleagues that he's rolled with for years didn't come and support him. But it's okay, because we here and we got his back. So with that being said, I've been doing this for 36 years. I've worked with some of everybody. I'm not going to even name names and name the record company that I currently work for, because today that's not important. What is important is me being here and pouring into these young people. 17 years ago, I started an organization called the Music Education Group, because I saw that the artists that I was on the road with were lacking a lot of things. Personal skills, couldn't do conflict resolution, just life skills. Now these guys are selling millions of records, touring all over the world, but didn't have the basic things that you need to be successful in life outside of them being a celebrity, right? So when you find an artist who sold millions of records and come to you and say, hey man, can you talk to me about publishing? And I'm like, wait a minute. You just sold 1 million records and you don't know anything about publishing? Or somebody got your publishing and the only way you get money is every time you cry or make noise, they cut you a check? And I'm saying to myself, like, something's wrong with this picture. So God gave me this vision to start this organization, and it started off with me doing master classes where I would bring industry professionals. I had never sung or rapped a day in my life, and I've been in this industry longer than most of the artists that I work with. So my thing was, let me bring in industry professionals to talk to our young people. Let me bring in my attorney. Let me bring in people from publishing. Let me bring in people from licensing. All the things that are behind the scene that nobody knows anything about but is making all the money. Let me bring them in to start talking to our young people about the business side of the industry. Then it got a little deeper. We had some situations where I was brought in to help some artists out with some community service stuff. I said, well, something is not right with this. And as I began to talk to these artists, I found out that they had a lot of issues growing up. Single-parent homes, all the things that we see and deal with on a regular basis, but they're entertainers and we don't really see that side of them because it's really not exposed, because the labels don't want us to see that side of them. And as you start to dig deeper and deeper and deeper, these kids, these young men and young women have a lot of issues that have never been resolved. But because they have that talent, they cover it up, and that's what we see. So, you know, I started the organization, and my main purpose was not to create a superstar, but to instill values into our young people. But we know they love music, so we have to start there, right? So we built these technology centers where we have young people come in and they learn how to use Pro Tools and all these different programs, and we teach them life skill values, right? So last summer, we hired 10 kids, teen engineers, and they got paid. We paid out $50,000 last year to young people to go around to a lot of the community centers and record the young kids that were in camp. These kids are proficient in learning how to use Logic, Pro Tools, all these programs that all the professional guys use. We have teenagers that are learning how to use this technology. But the only way that this thing works is it has to be a buy-in from everybody. And most of all, it has to be a buy-in from our parents. And I get it. I understand that parents work and they don't have time to, be there for their kids and be involved in everything that they're doing. I get it. My mom and dad work, and they never came to a soccer game or to a track meet. But one thing that I do know, they love me. We had conversations, and I knew what to do and what not to do. And they supported everything that I wanted to do in terms of me being in the music. So what we ask for from our parents, don't just drop your kid off. Come in and learn and see what your kid is doing. We'll have parents drop their kids off and leave, and you don't even know who your kids are with. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're learning. You don't know what they're pouring into them. But we got to be more involved. If we're talking about taking a village, if you can't stay, your neighbor, somebody needs to know what's going on, and that we have to put some extra work in now. Those excuses of, well, I work 9 to 5, but what about your best friend or your next door neighbor that you're hanging out with and you're talking to every day, and their kids are all hanging out together? Somebody should be able to come in and see what's going on, so you can go back and report to the other parents. Okay, this is what they learned. This is what's going on. And it does take a village, and I know we overuse that, but it's the truth. Don't just leave your kid in somebody else's hand and you don't know what's going on. That doesn't make sense to me. So, we have to take on the mentality of, hey, we have to make some sacrifices because what we've been doing is not working. It's not working because if it was, we wouldn't be here. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing? How are we contributing to our community? How can we help our neighbor's son who's getting in trouble versus turning our head away and saying, well, it ain't got nothing to do with my child ain't doing that? Because if you keep turning your head away the other way, your child will be doing that. So we have to get involved. Forget about all this money and all this. We having an issue with just trying to survive. What are we doing? Ask yourself, what are we doing to make a change in our community?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We haven't heard from a lady in a minute. We got a boss here in the industry doing big things. Go ahead, Ms. Day.
Hi, my name is Day Bird, and I'm a makeup artist. I do brand development, but I'm most known for working with Nicki Minaj, and I worked with her for several years. And what I just want to say is that every single successful person that I know, it started in school. All of us started before high school, but I'm going to say in high school, we was performing. I was doing makeup for shows. We were encouraging each other. I'm talking to the kids out here. Listen, y'all got so much power. And y'all know it. Y'all seem helpless, but y'all know y'all got power. You can tell that you influence already. You know if you walking down the halls of your school and you are an influencer. You know if you open your mouth and you got friends who do what you do. You know if you put on the latest gear and you got somebody that wears what you wear. You feel it in your bones that you got this power. It is up to you to decide what you want to do. It is inevitable that you will be on TV. Everything is going streaming. Everybody's going to be on TV. Period. That's how they're setting up this whole nation, the world. Everybody's going to be on. So you don't even have to fight for it. But what you got to decide is how you want to be seen. You have to decide what you want the world to know about you. All of us, unfortunately, who are people of color, have come from being enslaved, generations of it. And we are, I'm gonna say my generation are the generation of healers. We came here to heal. The generation before us was the generation of educators. They were here educated. Everything was about education, education, education. We're about self-care. We're about healing. So unfortunately, y'all who are teenagers and in your early 20s, y'all have caught a really short end of the stick because it's the 5- and 6-year-olds that are getting the healeder versions of us. Our parents didn't parent us because they were working. But we're learning now that we have options. We're learning that, hey, it ain't all about career, like he's saying. It ain't all about that. I gotta take care of my kids. Now I have an opportunity to think about how I wanna do it. Like I left riding on a G5 jet every 2-3 cities a day, making over $5,000 a day, which ain't a lot, but for a makeup artist, that's great. When people out here doing $50 faces, I left that because I had to think about what am I putting out here. I have to be responsible for the children that want to do what I want to do. And I know personally, I am almost single-handedly responsible for how makeup looks right now. And I didn't know at that time what it was doing. There's a lot of things that I'm grateful for because black women have never been able to be free. We had to imitate and look like someone else. So now we playing, we having fun. I was wearing black hair my whole life, and now I'm like, yo, I'm doing pink hair because I want to have fun, because I ain't never had fun. But with it comes responsibility. There is nothing great. No artist can get up and not be responsible for the career that they have. There are responsibilities, and all of y'all babies who want to have it, you can have it. You can be famous. You can have the money. You can have all of those things you want, but can you keep it? And the only thing that's gonna teach you to keep it is discipline. Y'all, Nicki Minaj go to bed at 11 and get up at 6 in the morning. Like, for real. Most of these people you think out here partying, they might, but they got somebody to help keep them in order. And I keep asking them, why don't y'all talk about how smart y'all are? But they can't get the check because don't nobody want to hear that. Y'all think they talking about this stuff because this is what they doing. They talking about it because it sells, and that's how they get a check. They got something you ain't got. They got security. They got an actual budget in insurance. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, y'all can have all of it, but how you want to get it? How do you want to get it? It ain't worth your soul. It ain't worth your soul, because when I got there and I'm around everybody, I'm popping. But ain't nobody happy. Money, cars, houses, I don't care. The question to ask them, are they happy? Because you can do all that stuff all you want to, but at the end of the day, are you happy? And if your friends ain't telling you to be happy, if your friends ain't telling you to covet yourself like you are the most dopest thing in the world, then they ain't your friend. Because I'm going to tell you, me and Mayor Khalid went to school together. And the one thing we did, I don't care if you couldn't sing, we're going to say you the best singer in the world. We're going to say you the dopest person in the world. I started being fly popping in high school. Because my friends told me, yo, Dave, you the shit. I'm sorry. Because my friends told me, hey, you fly. And so then I said, hey, I'm flying. I'm going to help you be fly. And then I started doing the makeup for the school shows. And then when it was prom, I'm doing makeup for prom. And then they go out here to New York and LA and they get signed to these record labels, and the people can't do the makeup the way they like it. So they come back to me. Can you do my album cover? Yep. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it. And that's what I'm telling you. You could do whatever you want. I never got an education in this. I trained myself.
Thank you.
There's nothing to stop you. But you got to ask yourself, am I worth it? Am I worth it? And is what you got to say leading me to my destruction or leading me to my to my elevation. And if the people around you are not elevating you, then you got to tell them to quiet that noise. Because it's not right, and you know it's not right. You know it's not right. You feel it in your bones. And you like, my mama, the biggest thing, if I can't tell y'all nothing else, my mama taught me, think for yourself. Think for yourself. There is nothing more important than your own thoughts. And in order to do that, you got to get quiet and you got to get to yourself and you got to sit back and think about all the conversations you had in that day, and you got to think, what does it mean to me? And is this person really giving me good information? Is it really for my benefit? And if it ain't, then you know not to listen to them. You ain't got to address it, but you got to know it within yourself. It's either for my elevation or it's either for my downfall.
Thank you.
Dream big, y'all.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry. I'm getting a wrap-up signal. We gotta stop. We obviously need to do a part 2. So you all, if you texted the word Fulton to 33777, we'll let you know on the part 2. There are so many incredible people. I hope that you all got to visit our opportunity fair and just see how many incredible businesses and organizations and people are ready to pour into you and to pour into our kids. Our kids are amazing, and everything that we need, everything that is wrong about our community can be fixed by what is right about our community. Everything that we need is in this room. So thank you all for being in this room. I'm gonna turn it back over to my brother, Young Dro.
Okay. I appreciate everybody for coming out, man. This was something new for me, you know, to actually stand up and stand up against senseless violence and ask you guys, you know, to think about what you're about to do, guns down. It's a subject that we really didn't touch on, that I'm celebrating 18 months of sobriety. You dig what I'm saying? I think that, thank you. I really do want to say that drugs are tearing up our community, guys. I think that one of the things is that these kids' minds are clouded. They can't get the signal from God, neither their parents. Their minds are clouded. My mind was clouded. Once I got rid of it, I'm thinking clear and I'm doing stuff like this. So that's how I'm rocking right now. Hey, before you get out of here, let me bless you with something. What we got back there, DJ man? Yes, sir. Yeah. Before we run out of time, man, let's mend some relationships. Let's tell your mama you love her. Go pick your children up. Make sure you do that. Cause I love her. Before we go out and grind, go and pick up the kids. Spend some quality time. Hit them all with my girl. Have some dinner at Prime. Tell mama I love her. Before we run out of time. Yeah, before we run out of time. Yeah, before we run out of time. Grab my girl and hug her. Before we run out of time. Tell my dogs I love her. Before we run out of time. Before we run out of time. Yeah, before we run out of time. Before we run out of time. Before we run out of time. I stand in front of the judge, he was handing out time. Damn, I mean to call trouble, but I ran out of time. Spend my time in this cell, I'm so used to this jail. Spend my time in the streets, I'm so used to this mail. Block smell like a body, oh I'm used to this smell. Sometimes I don't know the difference. Is this heaven or hell? About to run out of time, let me run out and grind. Lord, give my partner the strength in case I run out of mine. Niggas packing the bullet before he blast when he pull it. I hope he miss when he bust it and he run out of bullets. Get your affairs in order. Go and pick up your daughter. Tell daddy you love him just in case you get slaughtered. Fighting cases and caught up. Baby mama was crying, trying to stack up $1 million, but I ran out of time. I done ran out of tears. I done ran out